Welcome to Accreditation Made Easy, the podcast that takes the stress out of accreditation. I'm your host, Areaka Jewell, and in each episode, we'll deliver actionable tips, expert insights, and practical strategies to help streamline the process, and of course, make your work life a little easier. Now, whether you're tackling policies, preparing for assessments, or just looking for ways to stay ahead, we've got you covered. Let's simplify accreditation, one step at a time. Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Accreditation Made Easy. I am your host, Areaka Jewell. Today we're going to talk about revisit assessments, but not before I give a quick thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been listening. Whether you have listened since the beginning or this is your first time, I am super appreciative of that, so thank you. All right, so accreditation is, we all know that it's not about earning a certificate. It's about maintaining compliance and upholding professional standards long after the assessment is complete. Am I right? But what happens when an agency falls short in certain areas? That's where revisits come into play. So in today's episode, we'll cover what are revisits, why do they matter, and my firsthand experience with it. A revisit occurs when an agency has a non-compliance issue identified during its last formal assessment, and rather than jeopardizing their accredited status, the Commission may elect to give the agency conditions. Now, these conditions are specific to those standards of noncompliance in which they must correct within a specified time frame. And then a single assessor, rather than a full team of assessors, returns to the agency to verify that corrective actions have been taken. Then, if compliance is confirmed, the Commission may lift the conditions. So why does all this matter? Well, for accreditation programs to maintain integrity, there must be a mechanism for follow-up and accountability. So revisits serve as a safeguard of sorts to ensure that agencies are taking the necessary steps to correct those deficiencies and then continue to maintain compliance with the accreditation standards. Now, I'm going to be talking about my experience here in Florida, but I can assure you that CALEA also follows a similar model at the national level, and I'm sure other states do as well. Now, let's talk about how revisits work. They're very similar to a formal assessment in that a formal letter is sent to the agency announcing when the revisit assessment is going to be and identifying the assessor assigned to it, as well as instructing the agency to provide the assessor with some required documentation in preparation for the review. One of the differences is, while you may build a file in Power DMS or you may choose to do paper files, it's up to you. No actual notations are made in Power DMS, so no statuses are changed. You don't need to set the assessors up as formal assessors. And again, this goes for whether they're reviewing paper files or files in your Power DMS. The focus of the revisit is on those previously non-compliant standards only. So to prepare for this, I reviewed the final report that which, by the way, I was the team leader on their last formal assessment, so I'm very familiar with the challenges that this agency faced. I reviewed the final report that I wrote along with the action plan and supporting documentation that the agency provided at that time. When I arrived at the agency, I was asked to sign in, and then I was escorted to a conference room where I was provided, it was almost like a pre-read packet booklet, had a little background on the agency, and it had a copy of all the supporting documentation. So I reviewed the policy and the changes that had been made. I reviewed the supporting documentation, and then I conducted an interview of the staff member who completed those reports just to do some follow-on verification of compliance. And then after all of that, I did a quasi-exit interview with the accreditation manager, the lieutenant that did the reports, and also the chief of police to let them know what my findings were and also what my recommendations to the commission would be. Now, on that note, I have to do a final report similar to the one that I did after the formal assessment, but it's going to be a lot shorter. But nonetheless, it's going to report my findings and, again, the recommendation to the commission, who makes the final determination on whether or not to lift or maintain those conditions. So what are my takeaways from this? I got to see firsthand accountability in action. Seeing agencies take ownership of their compliance efforts reinforced the importance of the revisit process in maintaining accreditation integrity. So I think they're essential. They provide a structured, fair approach to corrective action. It's a way to ensure agencies remain in compliance and continue to uphold professional standards. Now, this was my first revisit, and I admit it was a learning experience, but it just reaffirmed that belief that accountability is key to the success of any accreditation program. Now, whether you've been through a revisit assessment on the assessor side or maybe on the agency side, I hope that it has been a seamless, non-adversarial process, but by all means, reach out to me. I'd love to hear how your experience is because I am always open to learning new things about accreditation. So that's all I have for today. As always, I have summed this up in a nice reference-like document that you can download and keep for your own future reference. And I'll put a link for it down in the show notes. So that's it. I hope to see you back again next time. If you are not already subscribed to my Accreditation Academy Content Hub, where I give away lots and lots of freebies, helpful tips, and how-tos, then I'll put a link to that also in the show notes where you can sign up for that. All right, I hope to see you back again next week. Until then, let's keep simplifying accreditation, one step at a time.